Hey there, awesome physics students. Let's talk about how to figure out the direction of a cross product. So you've probably seen cross products before, and you know that you can take a vector A and a vector B and multiply them using the cross product. So we read this as A cross B. That's not A times B. A cross B is what you want to say. And when you multiply them using the cross product, you get a third vector C. And interestingly, C is going to be perpendicular to both A and B, even if A and B aren't perpendicular to each other. So how does that work exactly? Well, the way you visualize this is that A and B, vectors A and B will define a plane, right? So they're a straight line and a straight line, and those two lines define a plane. And the resultant C, that's A cross B, is going to be perpendicular to that plane. So the question you might have is perpendicular this way or perpendicular that way? Which way is it? Well, to decide between those two, you use what's called the right-hand rule. The way you use this is as follows. You take your fingers of your right hand and you point them along A. That's the first vector. Then you push your fingers, you push that vector into the second vector, so push it into B. Then your thumb will point in the direction of the correct direction for C, the resultant. And that is always going to be perpendicular to the plane. You might notice that if I switch the order of these, if I put B first, or if then B points that way, I take my right hand and push it into A, my thumb is going to point in the other direction. It's going to be perpendicular down instead of perpendicular up. What that means is that you cannot switch these two. A cross B is equal to negative B cross A because it introduces that negative sign. You either get up or you get down. And of course that's relative to the plane that these two vectors define. Recall what you're really doing in this situation is you're trying to multiply the parts of A and B that are perpendicular to each other. And so you can see this through, if you look at the magnitude of the cross product, A cross B. The magnitude of the cross product, A cross B itself is a vector, so you can think about what's the magnitude of that. That's going to be the magnitude of A times the magnitude of B times the sine of the angle between A and B. And if you look at this geometrically, you'll notice that really this is just multiplying the parts of A and B that are perpendicular to each other. And that gives you the magnitude of C. Okay, so that's how to use the right-hand rule to determine the direction and how to get the magnitude of the cross product. All right.